Welcome to the Weekly Option, the podcast for people interested in trading stock options. Each week, we cover trade ideas and opportunities in the stock market right now. Whether you're a beginner, a professional, or just curious about options, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly Option. This is episode 341 on September 20th, 2024. I'm your host, Eric, and in this week's show, we'll cover the trades from last week on Iris Energy, Verizon Communications, and Carnival Cruise Lines, and we discuss three new trades on the ProShares Trust 2 Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas ETF, Unity Software Inc., and Palantir Technologies Inc. Now, it's always great to hear from listeners. If you have any questions about the trades presented here on the show or even about your own positions, feel free to email me. You can email questions to eric@theweeklyoption.com. That's ERIC@theweeklyoption.com. I've also created a few videos to teach you all the basics of option trading that you'll need to know to be able to follow along with me on this show. You can visit our website and click on the videos tab to watch them, or visit the YouTube channel for the Weekly Option. Now, the equity markets finished the week at all-time highs after seeing a long-awaited reduction in the federal funds interest rate. The Dow Jones Industrial Average grew 669 points, closing at 42,063 points. The S&P 500 index grew 76 points, ending the week at 5,702 points. And now it's time for the topic of the week. The topic of the week is honoring your dreams. I had to go out of town this week for some meetings, up in Vail actually. They gave us a little welcoming gift bag. Inside that bag were several pieces of chocolate. One of those chocolates had a wrapper with an inspiring phrase on it. Honor your dreams and they will honor you. Unbeknownst to my colleagues, I actually saved that little wrapper with the quote in my wallet. I pondered it a bit over the last few days. I tend to be somewhat introspective in general, so I asked myself the next appropriate question. Have I honored my dreams? The next question that popped into mind was, how do you honor your dreams? That's the question I want you to ponder. Yes, it applies to option trading, but it goes way beyond that. This is one of those life questions triggered by a small piece of chocolate, which ultimately sounds like something from the movie Forrest Gump, right? I have honored my dreams by pursuing knowledge and education. I've also honored my dreams by practicing and studying. Still, there's some dreams that I failed simply by not investing the proper amount of time studying and practicing. Like I'm still learning to play piano. I read music. I grew up playing percussion. I fully can read piano music, but it takes practice to give your fingers the ability, the agility, the speed, sometimes just the grace that's needed to play such a beautiful instrument. I haven't put in the time, and now that I have a beautiful baby grand in my home, I am putting in more time, but it still just might not be enough to make that dream come true. It has been said that in your life, you'll experience pain. It's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, regarding your dreams, of course. The pain of discipline is right in line with honoring your dreams. I hope everyone listening to this call ponders that thought and finds a way to continue honoring your dreams so that you can have the life experiences that you desire. And hey, if I can help you along the way, let me know. So let's go ahead and get into the review of last week's trades. We're going to start off with that covered call on Iris Energy, symbol I as in India, R as in Romeo, E as in Echo, N as in November. At the time, the stock was trading for $7.56 per share. I looked at buying stock and selling the October 8 call at 80 cents, hoping for a 16.4% return in 5 weeks. Well, shares of Iris Energy lost 6 cents, ending the week at $7.50 per share. The call option that we sold lost 5 cents, leaving us with a net loss of 1 cent if we were to close the trade out immediately. Now, obviously, we would not look to do that because this stock is nearly 10% above the break-even point. It's still well above its break-even point, which is great. We have 4 weeks for this trade to mature, which is just fine also. So with so little movement on the stock this week, clearly there are no adjustments needed on this trade at the moment. We will certainly have to keep an eye out on the stock in the coming weeks, just as we would with any of the other open trades. So next up, let's look at the credit spread from last week. We looked at Verizon Communications, symbol V as in Victor, Z as in Zulu. At the time, the stock was trading for $44.42 per share. I looked at selling that October 44.43 put spread at 32 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 68 cents per spread. Now, shares of Verizon slid 12 cents lower, ending the week at $44.30 per share. The out-of-the-money put spread we sold is still out of the money, so all is well with this trade. We're 62 cents away from the break-even point, which is our true marker on whether or not to make any adjustments on the trade. Now, at this point, no adjustments are needed. This trade benefits from having prices go higher, so that's what we'll need to see happen in the next 4 weeks to lock in a full profit on the spread. But as long as stock finishes above $44 per share, this spread will expire out of the money and we will keep the full 32 cents that we collected for selling the spread. And finally, our final trade from last week is the debit spread on Carnival Cruise Lines, symbol C as in Charlie, C as in Charlie, L as in Lima. At the time, the stock was trading for $17.25 per share. I looked at buying the October 16-17 call spread for 63 cents. That could give us a maximum gain of 37 cents, or that's a 58.73% return in 5 weeks. Well, shares of Carnival Cruise Lines grew $1.75, ending the week at $19 per share. The in-the-money call spread that we bought is even deeper now in the money. That means we are making money in this trade so far, which is great. The spread has increased a little bit, but we will see our profit grow as the stock remains above our spread value in the weeks to come. We will continue to keep an eye on the stock price for this trade as well, just to make sure that it remains profitable. So far, so good on this trade as well. And I'll tell you what, I've already started pricing out buying the put spread, which will allow us to create a box. I don't talk about that concept too often on the show because it can get a little bit confusing, but it's another way to be able to lock in a profit. You could lock in about half the profit right now by trading the box. But I'm confident that in the coming weeks, as long as stock stays, pretty bullish, and it's looking really bullish right now, as long as stock stays above $17 per share, we've got a full 37 cents coming back to us. So might as well wait a little bit longer. If you were to close it out right now with the box, you would lock in a little bit more than a 25% return on your money. If you wait, you've got a shot at a 58% return on your money, which is always amazing as well. So that's it for the review of last week's trades. Today, September 20th, was option expiration for all September monthly options. All new trades on today's show will use the October 18th expiration for monthly options in October. Let's start off with our covered call. We're looking at the ProShares Trust Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas ETF, symbol B as in Bravo, O as in Oscar, I as in India, L as in Lima. The stock ended the week at $10.30 per share. I'm looking at buying stock and selling the October 11 call at 77 cents. That could give us a return of 14.27% in 4 weeks. Now, you enter this trade by buying stock for $10.30 and selling the October 11 call at 77 cents. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $11 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $9.53 per share. In real terms, the stock purchase will require $1,030 and you'll collect $77 for selling the option. Next up, we have a credit spread on Unity Software, symbol U as in uniform. The stock ended the week at $20.80 per share. I'm looking at selling the October 2019 put spread at 34 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 66 cents per spread. Now, you enter this trade by selling the October 20 put at $1.02 and concurrently buying the October 19 put for 68 cents. This is a credit spread because we're selling the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $20 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $19.66. In real terms, you'll receive $34 per spread that you sell and have $66 at risk. And our final trade on the week is going to be a debit spread on Palantir Technologies Inc, symbol P as in Papa, L as in Lima, T as in Tango, R as in Romeo. The stock ended the week at $37.20 per share. I'm looking at buying the October 36-37 call spread for 63 cents, hoping for a maximum gain of 37 cents. That would be a 58.73% return in 4 weeks. Now, you enter this trade by buying the October 36 call for $2.43 and concurrently selling the October 37 call at $1.80. This is a debit spread because we're buying the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $37 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $36.63 per share. In real terms, you'll pay $63 to enter the spread, and your maximum gain is $37 per spread. So that's it for this week's show. I have some fun changes coming to the show soon. I'm going to be adding 2 more trade types. So instead of 3 trades a week, we'll move to 5. It's going to be a little bit more work for me, but I think it'll be a little bit more fun for you guys who follow along. I know many of you are learning, have used this show as a platform to learn options, and you send me email and ask me questions, which is wonderful. I love being able to help. I'm also finally going to be introducing that newsletter that I mentioned a long time ago. It's time. I've got the format. I've got a structure set up. We're going to be launching that newsletter ideally within the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be emailing all of the emails that I have, all of you who have reached out to me. I'll be emailing you when it's time to take a look at the newsletter. I'm really excited because the newsletter is going to contain even more trades than what's on the show right now. And I've got a few different structures that I think will make it really useful for everyone. Whether you're looking for free advice or whether you're looking for just more trade types, trade ideas that we're researching each week. So it's going to be really helpful, I think, to everyone. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely feel free to shoot me an email if you want to make sure that I have your email for when that product's going to launch too. So super excited. I have longed to make this happen for so long. I can't wait to bring it to life. And I thank each of you for listening because you're helping me bring one of those dreams that I'm trying to honor. You're helping me bring some of that to life each and every week that you listen to the show. So thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And as always, happy trading. Thank you for listening to the Weekly Option Podcast. Please subscribe to our show and visit us at www.theweeklyoption.com. Disclaimer, there is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. The indicators and strategies described in this podcast are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. For our full disclaimer, visit our website at www.theweeklyoption.com.